Hello everyone, this is Danny Bossa. As you're all well aware on this channel, our dialogue has largely surrounded the topic of optimizing hormones and acquiring and maintaining health in general. We've highlighted countless physicians and other medical professionals and health specialists from several fields lecturing on various issues which people like you and me who are passionate about health and healing are eager to discover. This video, however, is going to be vastly different from our channel's usual content, and it may even upset some of you, either because this topic isn't part of our usual health-related content or because the perspectives go against your own viewpoints. All the same, my colleagues and I felt it was crucial to have this dialogue and to remind everyone that it's okay to have these conversations and that it's okay to disagree, that we must participate in dialogue with the understanding that we can agree to disagree and still maintain peace among us. This is especially crucial to understand when sharing dialogue about politics. It matters even more during a global crisis that affects us all, because even if our opinions differ, we're all in this together. As you all know, we are currently experiencing exceptional times, the likes of which most people have never seen before. Regardless of your personal position on vaccines or on politics, we are all seeing our governments currently going out of their way, striving actually, to divide us, using our personal beliefs and our human rights as weapons against us, while inciting each and every one of us of all ages to participate in using our beliefs and rights as weapons against each other. Divisiveness is their ultimate weapon against us. Unity is our ultimate weapon to victory. Outside of or along with government, we're inundated by volatile mass media that's manipulating what we see and hear, both locally and globally, blurring lines and warping truths and twisting facts with a censorship to a degree that's quite simply diabolical. Add to this cancer to humanity that is cancel culture, that is corrupting our right to free expression and freedom in general. Add to this an astounding and growing number of small and large businesses alike that have been permanently shut down, and an inexcusable and unacceptable number of people who have lost literally everything, including the freedoms that we once took for granted that are being systemically and systematically abolished day by day. All of this not having anything to do with an actual virus, but with mismanagement, lack of direction, lack of having a plan, lack of leadership, and most importantly, a blatant lack of respect for human rights and the human condition. For many of you, you've been told that the COVID-19 vaccine is the only thing that will get us through this pandemic, along with the hand sanitizing and the mask wearing, and not just social distancing, but literally staying away from people, whether in regard to family gatherings or professional assemblies or religious fellowship. These same prescriptions have been proposed by the very same health authorities, yes, the actual Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization, that told us at the onset of this thing, specifically to not wear masks. The governments of all countries have been insisting day after day for the last 18 months, and frankly, there's no end in sight. However, what's archaic and regressive, as it is alarming and appalling, is the notion of treating an entire planet's population for disease that's lethal to but a mere minute fraction of the population. An absolute fact about this disease is that this is a disease of the sick, not of the healthy, and that the government has done literally nothing to educate the public about all the simple, obvious, and manageable things we can be doing to get healthy, to improve our own immune function and overall health. Mismanagement, having no plan, poor leadership notwithstanding, the government also won't dare to speak up in the name of protecting and not offending the hypersensitive cancel culture contributors who take offense to the mere notion that their own volatile lifestyle decisions and the fact they're overweight and unhealthy and are actually already dying a slow death is what's putting them at risk more than anything else. The truth of the matter is, regardless of who's sensitive about hearing this truth, is that if the entire planet was healthy and everyone's immune system was strong, this virus wouldn't be the big deal that it is. The fact that it only kills the already sick and the weak, which includes those who make poor choices and defend their poor health. So why are the rest of us healthy people being penalized? Besides, what real doctor would give you a pain reliever for someone else's pain? Or an antibiotic for someone else's infection? Or eyeglasses to correct someone else's vision? Why is this such a big deal? It's because a large majority of people, especially those who make poor choices, are already sick. Obesity alone has exceeded 35% of the worldwide population. Cardiovascular disease numbers keep breaking records year after year after year. And in spite of what anyone will tell you, diabetes is the real pandemic right now. I won't even get started on cancer statistics. We both know I don't even need to go there. To make health matters worse, on one hand, governments are doing everything they can to dissuade and both the public and the medical community from turning to natural therapies. Some governments going as far as even to outlaw the most natural yet most health vital supplements, such as simple things like vitamin C or vitamin D. Yet I can go out and buy 10 cases of cigarettes right now and tell people I'm going to smoke all of these in a matter of days. I won't even raise a single eyebrow. In fact, the only government regulation surrounding cigarettes is in regards to who can sell them, not how many I can consume. I can get free refills of liquid sugar, soft drinks, to my heart's content. I can eat all the fast food that I can choke down. I can sit on my lazy ass on my couch, streaming movies and ordering fast food 24/7, all while pounding down chips and other toxic crap until I'm blue in the face. Although I do none of these things, this has become the standard by which the vast majority of people, especially adolescents, teens, and young adults, not just survive on, but thrive on. It's illegal for a 17-year-old to drink wine in most states and provinces, but any kid of any age can freely purchase and consume all the energy drinks he or she desires, along with all the junk I just mentioned. And all these food and other toxic choices are completely legal, without any restriction whatsoever, aside from some loose age restrictions for cigarettes and booze, around which our youth have little challenges navigating. These are the people most prone to getting sick in general. Even without considering a pandemic, these are the people most prone to being hospitalized either way, with the exception of the elderly and those with pre-existing autoimmune and other underlying conditions. There isn't much we can do at the present to get the elderly as strong as we'd like them to be, but there's a ton of changes that the rest of us could be making to improve our health, which most people are simply not willing to do or don't know how. But that the government can participate in motivating and inspiring in all of us. The vast majority of people who are active in the area of health and fitness are absolutely against this vaccine and the vaccine passport. And I can assure you, it has nothing to do with them being idiots or even being remotely uneducated or uninformed. Quite the contrary, actually. Most people who have lined up for the shot have done so without giving it a second thought, and did so because that's what they have been told by the respective governments to do and by their own doctors. The ones on the other side, however, who are healthy and who do take care of themselves, have been actively taking care of their health since long before the pandemic because it's our lifestyle. And we're very picky as to what goes into our bodies. So if they need to take anything at all in the way of pharmaceutical drugs, they will quite habitually research it for months until they come to a decision. The key word here is decision. This decision about what goes into our body, into my body, used to be our human right, but no longer. So why are these healthy, disciplined, informed people so angry? It's because they've been actively taking care of their own health for ages, and now being told that they need to get vaccinated for disease they aren't particularly at risk for in the first place, to protect the ones who never invested a second into their own health. Not to mention, vaccines do not make you healthy. They will help you resist disease, and only for a time. but they will not by any stretch of the imagination improve your actual health. Something that could be improved upon by simply getting you to ditch that extra weight or fix the damage you've caused by having a terrible diet for all these years. To add insult to injury, these unhealthy people that are getting vaccinated move on to claim that they've done their part and don't seem to have much interest whatsoever in getting healthier to improve their immune function, and are solely relying on their shot as being the only responsible action they need to take. No! They have not done their part because they are still unhealthy. They still have compromised immune systems, and they aren't going to change a damn thing. They can also spread the disease to others, and the current research provides documented, irrefutable proof that vaccines do not control the possibility of spreading the disease. So again, even if all healthy people got vaccinated, the at-risk people remain 100% at risk. They are the ones who need a vaccine. So why isn't the government providing any instruction or recommendations for getting healthy rather than just sanitizing hands or wearing masks and avoiding other people? It makes obvious sense that if the government really did have your best interests at heart, then these types of recommendations would have been brought up since day one. They'd likely even set up a hotline that you can call into and discuss how you can improve your health even further, or send families monthly supplies of vitamins, considering how inexpensive they are and considering how much the Canadian government always seems to have a surplus of money lying around to dish out to people. But no, there's been nothing brought up on the subject whatsoever. If this pandemic actually ever does come to an end, I can absolutely assure you with certainty that the government will not be trying to find ways to get you healthy. Why? Because contrary to what you've been led to believe, unfortunately, the government does not have your best interests at heart. A sick population is a profitable one. So if the government won't do it, you've got two possible options. The first one, learn everything you can about health. And just a quick note here, please talk to your health practitioner before taking any advice from me or anyone else for that matter. But my advice for improving your resistance to literally any illness, and is straightforward, is to quit smoking. Avoid alcohol as much as possible. Avoid sugar as much as possible. Eliminate fast food. Start getting some exercise and fresh air. Load up on vitamin D, vitamin C, a good B complex, zinc, and magnesium for starters. Eat nutritious, wholesome foods. Cut back on your caloric intake if you have fat to lose. And incorporate some resistance training to increase your lean muscle mass. Also remember to take time away each day from your technology. Do some meditation or other calming techniques. And if you're single and sexually active, always practice safe sex. Again, consult your health practitioner about these and any other advice I share in this video. I might also add that you can also consider looking into the reasons why things that promote health are being banned, at least in Canada, such as vitamin D in doses above 1,000 IU. NAC, which is a powerful antioxidant, DHEA, pregnenolone, tons of other supplements or vitamins that now require a prescription to get, which were once perfectly legal over-the-counter supplements, and still are in other countries, all while the stuff that can kill you is absolutely legal without a single restriction whatsoever. The second option is for government to actually step up to the plate with a leader who will be vastly different than any other candidate that has come before them. Perhaps a candidate who knows the difference between health care and sick care. Don't know the difference between the two? Well, you see, what we actually have is called sick care. You see, when you get sick, you go to the doctor, where you're then prescribed pharmaceutical drugs. When you're not sick with anything specific, not only is there no reason to see the doctor, or so we're told, but most doctors won't see you if you don't have an actual illness or issue to address. Doctors are not helping you to improve your health. Instead, they prescribe drugs to treat illness. Why not do the things to minimize illness to begin with? Why not actually fix the root cause? This is why so many people are sick, and this is why it's only going to get worse unless something changes. Most of the people who are sick will claim they're healthy, even though they're 40 pounds overweight, eat at McDonald's several times a week, and chug down those delicious soft drinks without giving it a second's thought. Luckily, with me being in Canada, one such potential leader has arrived, and our current Prime Minister somehow deemed it necessary to call an election in the middle of this chaotic situation in order to acquire an even more greater control over an already desperate population with an election to be held in 2 weeks from now. That leader is Maxime Bernier of the People's Party of Canada, and he's strongly opposed to the vaccine passports as he knows that they will systematically remove any traces of freedoms we have left. He's also a finance lawyer who wrote and published a book on taxation. When asked recently in an interview what kind of financial obligations he would have for the country, he looked at the interviewer dead in the face and said, "We're broke, and we need to balance the budget immediately over the next 4 years." He's been the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Small Businesses, Minister of Tourism, and on and on and on. He knows our government inside and out. It also so happens that he actually answers questions with actual relevant answers, unlike our current Prime Minister. He also would never refer to any of our fellow Canadians as they, as Trudeau recently did in his ongoing endeavor to divide us in order to conquer us. There isn't a single candidate that even comes close to what Bernier can bring to us at present. Many of you watching the polls may be thinking he has no chance of winning. But we are beginning to see evidence of the polls themselves being manipulated. Not to mention, he wasn't even given the opportunity to participate in the debates, even though the Green Party, that has lower support than Bernier according to the polls, is currently permitted to do. To all my fellow Canadians, if you believe you're only going to get the 2 immunizations and be done with it, think again. There will be a 3rd and then a 4th. Just look at your vaccine passport. There's about 8 lines available. It will go on and on and on. And if you don't keep taking these drugs thereafter, your passport and thus your freedoms and thus your rights will be null and void. Frankly, I've never been interested in politics up until now because honestly, I think it's stupid. And nothing ever seems to get done. But this time I needed to stand up for what I feel is right for all of us, whether we agree with each other or not. To all Canadians, I'm pleading with you, vote for Maxime Bernier for Prime Minister of Canada. Please share this video with everyone you know. Post it on your social media channels, Facebook, Reddit. I don't care where. Post it everywhere. And if you're in another country, vote for the person you feel best suited to do the job, instead of trying to strategically vote for someone else as the only way to dethrone whoever is currently in power. Let's elect to the head of our true, strong, and free nation someone who actually knows what the hell they're doing and will uphold, protect, and fight for our rights and freedoms while we still have them. Let's rise together and unite before Canada turns into a communist country. Yeah, I said it, a communist country. Because that's exactly where we are headed, as many other countries around the world. And it is inevitable unless something changes now. If you agree with what I've stated here, find a way to get up, stand up, make your voice heard, take action. And above all else, please work on your health. Make your health your priority above all else, as well as your family's priority. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. What matters is we care, I care, and that we permit ourselves and each other to share in this necessary dialogue that's truly an issue of life and death. And if we all band together, and if we focus on getting healthy first and foremost, regardless of our political affiliations or our stance on this vaccine, we will get through this. I wish you all well. I thank you for your valuable time. I thank you for listening.